Okay, so I'm waiting for meds, waiting for the court, whatever, the attorney to call me back. Don't know when I'm going back to OFC. If I'm going back to OFC, I don't know anything, but I do want to know this. Why are there no boarding homes or residential care facilities specifically for NGRI patients coming out of OFC? If you're going to push us through that step, you're going to keep us from having a life, if you're going to keep us from our families, if you're going to keep us, from moving on, you're claiming we have freedom, you're claiming, this is a step out. It's not a step out. You put us in these privately run facilities that can run it any way they want to, that are not, refuse to follow state and federal law. You are setting us up for failure. You're putting us in these places that don't know what a specific NGRI case is, does, means, pertains to any kind of a conditional release plan. You're setting us up for failure. You have put me in a position to where I've been pushed into a corner. I have people that refuse to follow my federal rights, my civil rights. I'm discriminated against for my religion. I'm discriminated against for my disability. I have debilitating migraines. I've had pseudotumor cerebri in the past. I've had to have multiple spinal taps to relieve the fluid pressure on my brain. These people want to hold that against me. If I miss group, oh my gosh, you would think that I freaking killed somebody. These migraines are half the reason I got Social Security in the first place, and that was before the car accident. So don't tell me I don't have a disability. Migraines are classified under the Americans with Disabilities Act as a disease that they protect. So trying to bring up in court that I'm not in group or claiming I'm sporadically at group when I only miss a day every other week or maybe 3 days, 4 days a month, if that, when I have a disability that is covered under the Americans with Disabilities Act, counting that against me just because you want me out of here because I stood up for my civil rights and I turned you into HUD and HUD is investigating you, and because turning me in for violating my conditional release that was your fault didn't work, so now we're going to go lie. Now we're going to go violate more rights. Now we're going to have a doctor who's not even a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Yes, again, why are there no boarding homes just for NGRI patients? I haven't seen a psychiatrist or a psychologist since I left OFC. This place is privately run, privately owned. They do it their way. They do what they want when they want to. It's family run. I mean family. The doctor is family with the owners. The therapist is family with the owners. So please tell me how that's not a conflict of interest in this case. And please explain to me how, again, they can violate rights. They can have a patient blatantly tell them, do not mess with my meds, leave my meds alone, wait till I go to a neurologist, and then go ahead and do it, and then count that against you and claim you're refusing all of your medications just because you're refusing the medication that this doctor decided he was going to just do. Again, it's another violation of my rights. I have the right to refuse medication, especially from somebody who's not even a psychiatrist, who is a family practice physician. So again, why are we not in boarding homes or residential care facilities that are either state-run, or at least they're all the same, that we all NGRIs go into so that they know what the parameters are? They have to follow federal and state law. There is none of this bull of going around and saying, hey, we'll do what we want to do. Please explain that to me. Explain to me how you have Fort Supply and you have that step to where, those are NGRI patients. Explain to me how you can send people all over the state to these different places that are full of drugs and alcohol, aren't regulated properly, aren't run properly, and expect us to have a successful conditional release. This is the reason people come back. This is the reason that this is like a rotating door for most of the NGRIs. This is the reason the turnover rate is ridiculous. I've not seen one person come back to OFC that was released to their family. I've seen several come back that was released to places like this. And I can see why. You set me up for failure. None of this would have happened if I'd been released to somewhere else. that wasn't here. If there had been a specific state-run facility or something that was regulated for NGRI patients only, to where they knew the parameters of conditional release, they knew they had to follow federal law, none of this would have happened. They would have had to have psychiatrists and psychologists. They would have had to have therapists that weren't related to the owner, to where it was a conflict of interest. So please, explain to me why. Explain to me why this isn't being done right. Explain to me why you set me up for failure. Because going back to OFC, I can guarantee you, the fight will only be harder for you, not for me, because I'll have had my point out here. It'll be in the public, and you know what? I can't take it back, and I'm not going to, because everything I say is the truth. Whether you like it or not, I really don't care. Because it's the truth that from day one of my conditional release, I was set up for failure. And I will do more videos about all that later, because there's a lot of stuff I really want to get into. And in fact, there might be a few things about staff and that OFC, specifically the administration, that needs to come to light. Also people here. We'll see, because there's going to be a bunch of these. Have fun, guys.